What content do I watch on YouTube and LinkedIn? Take 0. So happy 4th of July. We decided to do some casual content for the 4th. So let me start off by saying happy Independence Day to everyone. I hope everyone takes a moment on 4th of July, if you watch these videos after 4th of July, that on Independence Day you take a moment to think about give thanks, honestly, for what Independence Day actually means. It's the representation that individuals stated to tyrants that we can govern ourselves, and that in God's eyes, all men and women are created equal. Anyway, happy Independence Day. And now on to the answer to the question, what content I watch on YouTube and LinkedIn. So I actually watch different stuff. On YouTube, I primarily watch stuff that interests me personally outside of my profession. So I have a passion for homesteading. I have a passion for primitive living. And I have a passion for history, which is some of my educational background. So I follow a lot of YouTube content creators like Gilbrook Farm, they're homesteaders. I also follow Uncontained Life. It's a couple in East Texas that's building a homestead, off-grid homestead out of 2 shipping containers. I've watched all their videos. I follow Antonelli Baseball, which is a guy named Matt Antonelli, who was a first-round pick with the San Diego Padres in 2003. He has a YouTube channel called Antonelli Baseball where he answers lots of questions about what it was like to be in the major leagues and what it was like to be in the minors. I really like that channel because in that channel, Matt Antonelli talks a lot about many of the same subjects that we talked about in our GOAT video. What does it take to be the greatest of all time? Because there's a huge similarity across professions about the people who are most successful. So I really like that channel a lot. There's a channel on YouTube called Kurzgesagt.
In a nutshell?
In a nutshell, it's a German channel that talks about science, astrophysics, and stuff. In fact, Intellic Integration is a Patreon sponsor. We donate $100 a month to that channel, and actually our little bird gets put into their videos and stuff. So we actually, my son Hayden, my youngest guy, his picture is on the wall as soon as you walk into their studios in Germany. And if you follow them and you are a $100 Patreon subscriber, which is their top level, you can do the exact same thing. I follow, all said and done on YouTube, I follow about 70 channels, and I do go to my subscribed channels and watch them regularly. There are several channels on YouTube that are centered around my profession that I follow. I don't want to list every single channel, but I would say the channel I like the most that fits into industrial automation on YouTube is Chasm. There's a new channel, I cannot remember the name of it. I wish I had remembered it for this video, but I can't remember it. That talks a lot about AI and machine learning, and I'll talk about it in another video. On LinkedIn, my favorite channels on LinkedIn I don't have a lot of them, if I'm being honest with you. There are a few that I follow that have a lot of potential. I watch all of Gary Vee's content, primarily to find what it is I disagree with in terms of his belief systems. He has a lot of really good content that I enjoy watching, but he also says a lot of things that I fundamentally disagree with. And I believe that.
What's an example?
For example, Gary Vee says that true business leaders care about the well-being of their employees. He talks
Chief Heart Officer.
Yeah, the chief. He has that concept of the Chief Heart Officer. And the truth is that the way that he markets that does not jive with what I've experienced in business with professionals. And in fact, even my mentors, our legal team, every single person I talk to says the same thing, that if you do what Gary Vee tells you in your videos, you're going to create entitlement. You're not going to create loyalty. Gary Vee tells you that it'll create loyalty, but in fact, it creates entitlement. And that is actually my experience. And so what I think Gary Vee says about the Chief Heart Officer, I think is in a lot of ways self-serving. But there's a lot of other content that he talks about in terms of the approach that leaders should take. In terms of, I really like the fact that Gary Vee is profane in his presentations, and he's not afraid to drop F-bombs, and he's not afraid to tell people, hey, listen, it's your own fault that you're in the situation you're in. I truly enjoy that I like the fact that he's transparent in that way. But there are some things that he says that I just don't agree with. I follow Shay Rowbottom on LinkedIn, primarily because she is one of the top creators on LinkedIn, and she uses a mechanism called LinkedIn Pods, and I'm not going to explain what LinkedIn Pods are, but I follow her because I enjoy the merits of her content, but I also want to juxtapose that content against what I know about some of the inauthentic methods that she uses to gain followers. One of the things that's most important for us on LinkedIn is, or actually YouTube also, is that every view that we get is a legitimate view where we're providing value to the viewer. Every single view. If you're familiar with LinkedIn Pods, the whole idea of LinkedIn Pods is that basically a bunch of creators come together and they just promise each other they're going to watch each other's videos, they're going to comment, they're going to like them, and it's a way of generating engagement for everyone in the pod. But it's not authentic. It's not an authentic view. If I join Shay Rowbottom, a pod that she's in, and I watch her video just for the fact that we're in a pod together, I don't gain anything from the view. In fact, I probably do the view and walk away from the screen while it's running, and then I probably
great video.
I probably give it a like and give it a generic comment. That's not authentic and it provides no value. So there's a lot more content on YouTube that I find is useful, and that's just because there's more creators. But there isn't a lot of content on YouTube that applies to what it is we do for a living, and that's part of the reason we're creating this content. That being said,
Zach Scriven Media?
In fact, I watch every single one of Zach Scriven Media's videos. Every single one. For those who don't know who Zach Scriven Media is the company that we contract to do all of our digital media. He's the guy behind the camera right now, actually. But I do watch every single one of his videos, including the very long 2 or 3 hour reading through the Bible videos that he did a year and a half or 2 years ago. I did watch all those in their entirety. What I would do is put the video on and have it on in the background while I'm making dinner, just a way of enjoying virtual fellowship, while I'm making dinner. So anyway, there's a lot of great content out there. The message that I want people to take away from this is, I don't personally think that there's a whole lot of great content on LinkedIn, but it's getting better. And part of the reason that we became LinkedIn creators is because we saw that vacuum. I am excited to hear that Vertec has created a professional YouTube channel and that we've had something to do with getting them to do that. They've seen the success we've had. I am excited with the material that Corso Systems puts out. Part of the reason that we started creating content is, we're really trying to influence 3 groups of people. So our audience is, number 1, systems integrators. We're trying to teach them how they can improve their business, how it is that how they can change their business, how they can go to market in a way that is always serving the client, number 1, okay? Number 2, it's OEMs. We're trying to get OEMs, all OEMs. So we want software OEMs who are making MES and SCADA software to use open architecture. Okay, we're trying to get Aviva to change their licensing model. We're trying to get Rockwell Automation to stop using Unified and go to open. And anyone who follows those models, we're trying to get them to change as well. We're trying to get companies like Inductive Automation to improve the performance of their platform. Inductive Automation does 99% of the things right. There's a little small things that they need to improve. We're trying to get companies like Sepasoft to improve the reliability of their modules. We're trying to get Seek to stop using, writing white papers and start shooting video content for the general user. We're trying to get all of the OEMs our sensor manufacturers to ship their sensors IIoT ready. We're trying to get PLC manufacturers to support MQTT with SparkPlug-B. We're trying to get the OEMs to support the IIoT infrastructure. And then number 3, we're trying to educate the end user so that they have realistic expectations when they try to digitally transform their business. So in the next video, we're going to answer the question, what is it that systems integrators today are doing right? And in our opinion, what are they doing wrong? Or how can they grow?